This video is about verb tense, particularly present tense of Modalverben. So what are Modalverben? Modal auxiliary verbs, or Modalverben, are helping verbs. They are paired with another verb in the infinitive, which is placed at the end of the sentence in German. These verbs express an attitude towards an action. That action is expressed by the other verb, the infinitive, in the sentence. One example is, I must, or I have to, learn German. Ich muss Deutsch lernen. The modal verb in bold is in the second position. The first verb needs the second verb, lernen, in order to show an action, what I must do with German. It is not read, write, or speak German, but rather learn. I must learn German. To conjugate modal verben, you need to start with the infinitive of the verb. Next, you need to find the stem of the verb. Modal verben are unique because most of the verbs have a different stem in the singular and in the plural. It is best to look at what those stems are. There are only 7 modal verben, so learning the stems is not too difficult. We'll start with the infinitive. The infinitive verbs are dürfen, können, möchten, mögen, müssen, sollen, and wollen. Their definitions are to be allowed to or may, to be able to or can, would like, to have to or must, to be supposed to or should, and to want to. Stems for the singular side for ich, du, and sie are darf, kann, möchte, mag, muss, soll, and will. Remember, the stems for the plural side are often different, but not all the time. So the stems for the plural for wir, ihr, sie, and sie are dürf, können, möcht, mög, muss, soll, and wohl. We're going to look at conjugating these verbs. In order to conjugate verbs, you need the stem. The stem or Stamm is normally the infinitive, minus an or n. Let's use müssen, like in our previous example. From the last slide, you may remember that the stems for the singular and plural sides are different. For the singular side, the stem is muss, and for the plural side, the stem is muss. Conjugating is the stem or Stamm plus the endings, Endungen. The endings for all modal verben are no ending, st, no ending, en, t, en. These are different from regular present tense verbs in the ich and sie forms. You add the stem to the endings to conjugate the verb. We have ich muss, du musst. Note that the du ending here is only t, because the stem ends in ss. Remember, this happens when stems end in s, double s, sz, or z. Sie muss, wir müssen, ihr müsst, sie and sie müssen. Let's look at more modal verben. Follow the same rules, the stem of the infinitive plus the endings, for the following verbs. You may want to pause the video here, and remember, if you can't remember the stems for the singular and plural sides of the verb, if you go back a couple of slides, you will see them to help you remember. So pause the video now. You should have für dürfen. Ich darf, du darfst, sie es darf. Wir dürfen, ihr dürft, sie und sie dürfen. Für können. Ich kann, du kannst, sie es kann. Wir können, ihr könnt, sie und sie können. Für möchten. Ich möchte, du möchtest, sie es möchte. Wir möchten, ihr möchtet, sie und sie möchten. We're going to look at some more verbs. Follow the same rules again, stem of the infinitive plus the endings for the following verbs. You may wish to pause the video now so that you can try to conjugate these on your own. For mögen, you learned gern for gladly, and you translated it to like. So I wanted to bring this to your attention. For example, ich esse gern Pizza was I gladly eat pizza. This like that we're learning now with mögen is a verb. The sentence I like pizza is ich mag Pizza, or ich mag Pizza essen. Essen is optional because it is implied that that is what you like to do with pizza. So you can still use gern as you did before, or you can now use mögen. Let's conjugate mögen. Ich mag, du magst, sie es mag. Wir mögen, Ihr mögt, Sie mögen. Für sollen, ich soll, du sollst, sie es soll. Wir sollen, ihr sollt, sie sollen. Für wollen, ich will, du willst, sie es will. Wir wollen, ihr wollt, sie wollen. The example ich mag pizza from the previous slide mentioned the possibility of leaving off the infinitive verb if it is obvious. In this sentence, the obvious verb would be essen, to eat. Other great examples would be ich muss nach Hause, I must go home. Du kannst das, you can do it. Wir wollen Kuchen, we want to eat cake. Das sollst du, you should do that. There are tons more examples. Technically, möchten is the subjunctive form of mögen. You learn it while learning the other Modalverben because it is a Modalverb and you use it a lot because it is polite. For example, you should say, I would like a Coke. Ich möchte eine Cola. And not, I want a Coke. Ich will eine Cola. Since this verb is so common, so necessary, and is typically taught at the same time as the other verbs, it is not necessary to wait to learn this verb. Other subjunctive verbs are taught later on. And that is the end of the Modalverben video.